양도 다. 좀 신선해 쉬어.
Hello, Rita. How are you? Okay. Nice to see you.
Hello.
Thank you. Well,
So now you look like you look a little bit like Sir Edmund Hillary. Hello.
election.
From Himalayan Trust. And Gavin Tupper, who's also political leaders. Yeah, just come back from Friday last
Home to group out for the Q&A.
And then everyone will stand behind
Yeah, I will come.
Just 2 months ago. Fantastic. First week of November, right? We're just back. And I'm fully, who else is from there? I'm fully not here today. So scholarships are a big connection between us, and perhaps lessons.
Look at that.
Yes.
My goodness. What a beautiful photo.
I'd just like to say a couple of words. I'd like to keep this very special occasion this morning informal and very relaxed. But on behalf of the New Zealand Nepal community in Kathmandu, I'd just like to thank Robert and UNDP for giving us time to greet our distinguished visitor Helen Clark, and to you, Helen, for taking time out from your busy programme here in order to meet some of the Nepalis who have the close connections with New Zealand and who are key to the unusually strong relationship between our two very small mountainous countries. There are many strands that connect Nepal and New Zealand, and most of them stem from the influence of that most famous New Zealander of the Hall, your friend, and friend of many of us here, Sir Edmund Hillary, known in Nepal as Barasal. Since first climbing Everest in '53 and during his time as High Commissioner in New Delhi, he dedicated much of his life to Nepal. Not only did he develop ties in natural resource management and tourism, particularly ecotourism and sustainable tourism, which both our countries had in common. Not only were they strengthened, but he was instrumental in protecting New Zealand's interests in other areas, such as ensuring, for example, that New Zealand wool was the wool of choice for the then emerging carpet industry. And it's not generally known that at one time in the late 80s, carpet exports from Nepal made entirely with New Zealand wool were actually larger foreign exchange earners for Nepal than tourism. So it's it's a very important employer in the country. Sir Ed's work was channeled mainly through the Himalayan Trust, and we're very happy to have so many of the now entirely Nepali board members here today, led by Elizabeth Hawley and Rita. And we appreciate your key role, Helen, in ensuring the annual support of the Himalayan Trust programs by the government of New Zealand. We're very much appreciative of that ongoing relationship between the people of Nepal and the people of New Zealand. New Zealand has helped set up the Sagarmatha National Park, and many Nepali leaders of conservation studied in New Zealand, particularly at Lincoln as well as other universities. And at this moment I'd just like to say a brief word about a very distinguished and energetic conservation activist who was just tragically killed, and much of the regulations for earthquake-resistant construction here was all set up by New Zealand specialists. So there is a close link, unfortunately, to both of us on earthquakes. The Bhutan Refugee Resettlement Programme was something that must have been set up during the time of your tenure as Prime Minister. And to date we have had 576 Bhutan refugees resettled in New Zealand out of a total of 749 referrals. This is UNHCR's largest and by many criteria most successful resettlement programme in the world at the moment, sending the Nepal
So friends of New Zealand together in one room, and it brings back a lot of memories of that day at the beginning of 2008 when some of you made a very long trip to New Zealand. And it's another chance to say thank you to Elizabeth, because you looked after Kiwis all those years. You came through Kathmandu, not least Ed and his family over the years, but everyone else who got into a little trouble knocked on your door, and now they're knocking on Lisa's door. But it's really appreciated what you've done as honorary consulates all these years. It's been wonderful. And can I say, this beautiful, gracious hotel is one of the loveliest places I've ever stayed at in the world. I think I should book it for a month. But Everest. But you grew up, in the shadow of this great New Zealand, and one is very conscious that what you did would never been possible without the help of the Sherpa people in your own regions. That's always a big debt of gratitude. So it's also good, just as you spoke, Lisa, to hear about the people who've gone down to New Zealand to study in the natural resource management and issues related to it.
Thank you, Your Excellency. It was a great honor for us to have this opportunity to meet you. And we have the Himalayan Trust Committee here. We have 9 members, but 2 are still working in the mountain and they are not able to attend here today. And in the year 2000, when Sir Edmund Hillary formed this committee, giving the responsibility to administer and oversee the projects of Nepal, because Sir Edmund Hillary had always the vision and philosophy that local people are the key player for all the work they have been doing in the local area. So we have a good range of Sherpa people who represent from a wide range of villages in the Everest region. And since then we have been involved very actively in maintaining the work of the trust in the best forms, and we hope we will be able to continue the work with the support from our valuable donors, including the government of New Zealand, for which you have played a very key role, and we appreciate very much for your contribution and the support. And you are not holding only an important profile positions as Prime Minister of New Zealand or Administrator of UNDP, but you are a very well-known mountain hiker. And one day we hope that we'll be able to see you in Sulukundu, where you'll be able to see some of the work of the Sir Edmund Hillary, whom you admire very much. And all our donors in New Zealand, in the United States, Germany, UK, they all reaffirm their commitment to continue the support as long as the committee people in Nepal work effectively, very cooperatively, and very closely together to maintain the work to keep the legacy of Sir Edmund Hillary. And thank you very much, and we hope to see you again next time in the mountain.
I should say about the government support for the Trust, when we were coming up to the 50th anniversary of the climb, and there was discussion about what should be done to mark this anniversary. It was made clear to me that Ed Hillary didn't want a statue, he didn't want anything for himself, he wanted the legacy to carry on. And so the best way to do that was to put in government funding for the trust to give it that certainty. And of course governments come and go in New Zealand, as you know. So it will be important to, sort of keep that advocacy and profile in New Zealand so that no government feels they can drop it in the future. But I think there's a lot of support for the Sherpa region and the Himalayan region in New Zealand. I hope it will be a very, very long
National Park Service and we have established the Himalayan National Park and many other parks, including the park on the other side of Mount Everest, but Himalayan Nature Preserve run by the autonomous government. And I was recently, back in 2010, I was in New Haven. I was resident at Yale University as a Fulbright postdoctoral fellow. And at that time, you just arrived in New York. I think you were in New York, and I said to my wife that I'd really like to go and meet her. She wrote me back and said, "Why don't you make an appointment and walk in there?" And I said, "Well, I don't know whether that's that simple." And anyhow, I never got to come and meet you in New York, but I really wanted to invite you to come and visit the talk. And then I'm glad that you are here now. But my motivation was that for you to come and visit Sagarmatha National Park, the Tumbu region, which is the proving agent between New Zealand and Nepal. And Sagarmatha really has left a lot of good work and a lot of legacy in there that we're still trying to carry through. And one of my dream now, not a dream, but one of my wishes is that the park really needs improved management. And I think it has a very good start. The tourism number has grown hugely, and now it's running into some kind of management problem, partly because we have political governance problem in Nepal, partly because we have a lot of tourism pressure to Sagarmatha. And I think it will be of interest to UNDP particularly because back in 2004, UNDP supported development of its the second management plan, and it's about to expire. It expires this year, and it is time for an update. And we look at the tourism situation in the Tumbu region and also update the plan. So I hope UNDP representative in Nepal is here. I hope we can talk about it one of these days because the government and the local government really needs update of the plan. And also, after passing our Sacramento Hillary, we thought that the students of the school that was the first school that Yale has established. We thought that now, over the last 50 years, so many people graduated from there. So many Sherpas, non-Sherpas went through that school. Many of them are in many different parts of the world doing very, very well. And we thought that it's time that we do something for ourselves also. So we established a Punjab School Alumni Association, and I'm the chairperson of the association right now. The association has just begun, and we hope to work with UNDP, any other donors, any other organizations, and collaborate on doing something for the region as well as for the thank you and welcome to Nepal.
I think it's obviously very important to have the plan updated because it's a sensitive region and tourism has to be managed so it doesn't destroy what is there. So, yeah.
And the plan was updated, led by Dr. Lapper and with New Zealand.
I'm Pasang Sherpa. I have been working with this body and Anglican for the last 7 years. And I have had a good opportunity to teach all the projects in Solo study many times. And at the moment, I've been looking after administration and project of the Himalayan Trust.
Namaste, I'm Amrita Sherpa, and I have been working with the trust for quite many years, and I retired last July. And now my colleague Pasang and Bhavin, and they are doing, and they are very efficient, and we are very confident they will maintain the work as before. But I still hold the chairman of the Himalayan Trust Committee in Nepal. Thank you.
Namaste, I'm Pasamba Sherpa, board member of Himalayan Trust Nepal. I think our chairman Amrita has already made presentation about our activities and our projects here in Nepal. So I think I don't need to repeat again. Thank you.
Namaste. I'm Tashi Zangbu Sherpa, board member Himalayan Trust. Thank you.
Namaste. I'm Bhavin Rajtanigar. I've been working for the Himalayan Trust for the past 7 years. I look after the finance.
Namaste, my name is Amrita Sherpa. I'm from Pune and I'm an executive member of the trust. And I also received my bachelor's degree from Lincoln University and I'm the senior program manager of TMI, Tanwan Institute.
Namaste. Namaste, my name is Captain Sherpa.
So am I right in thinking that the project will no longer have any approval in Auckland?
I think it's been quite a long time since you've been making
I think
your
the
own
decision, most of the
decisions.
decision will be made in
Decisions
Nepal.
are made here.
They can make some recommendations, but the main decision will be made in Nepal.
And I think that's the critical thing, and that was Ed's vision, wasn't it? To
Yeah,
see
exactly.
the people here do that work. And the New Zealand committee moved to more a support role. Yeah. But I think it's good you're going down, and you're going to call on New Zealand Aid when you're there.
New Zealand aid representative will be in the meeting.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So
Jane Poster.
just keep that relationship very strong. And if there's ever a problem, please get in touch, because I do keep in touch with New Zealand Aid. And,
Yeah, that's good. In fact, yeah.
and Jan Henderson is a good person. And Wendy Carlson.
They will be quite a close eye.
Exactly.
Also, I think it's also
Whatever it is. Put that down.
I want to send it to my prof.
Have a good journey back.
Good back.